Hello, hello, hello. This is Nicholas with DIVO-Ted Talks. I am so excited to chat with you again on this lovely day, whatever day it is that I find you. Let's keep it generic, right? But we can do that in life, right? We talk about it in business and marketing and in the service industry, making things that are evergreen, things that are appropriate and can be used anytime, any season, and um, you know, is reusable and maybe even follows the seasons of life that a person, an individual is having, rather than, it being this one shot thing that there's only this one chance and that's all there is and no other chances, nada kaput, done and all done. So, what does that mean for your yoga practice? Well, keep it evergreen. It doesn't have to be specific, yet it can be cyclically available for different things that are happening, maybe celestially, maybe available for things that are, coming and going, but still regular in a grander metric or a grander formatting. And so, how do you keep your life evergreen? How do you keep your practice evergreen? You show it up every day. It becomes a integral part of your life. It is the picture on the wall that's just always been there, and you don't know life without it, right? It's just something that you always do. Like I remember Dr. Lyde, he would have to get up early for flights, but he would base his time on what his routine was that he was going to wake up, and he would just go to bed early or adjust his wake up time to that so that he could get in all of his dinacharya or all of his practice. And it was so admirable because he walked the talk. Sorry, I almost said it wrong. He walked the talk. So how are you keeping your practice evergreen? How are you walking the talk? How are you showing up in a way that you are getting the most out of life, out of your practice, out of your efforts? And consistency. And beyond that, your ability to show up no matter what, unconditionally, right? And that's how things become evergreen. They are unconditional. These are things that I do. Non-negotiable has a lot of connotation to it, and that's fine, right? Some things being non-negotiable are great, and people are set at different ways. Like a pitta probably wants a non-negotiable, which may not actually be good for it, right? It should be more flexible, right? But a kapha needs a non-negotiable. You have to do this no matter what. And that quality helps awaken or liven the opposite guna to which it is interacting with. And so how do we keep things evergreen? You show up because you want to. You show up because it isn't really a question anymore, because it is a part of who you are. It is an ornament. It is a true expression of who you are. It is part of your identity, right? And not necessarily that it's your whole identity, but it is integral to your identity because it's a piece that belongs, a piece that the whole wouldn't be exactly the same without it, right? And of course, none of us are all just one thing. We are dynamic. We are ever changing. We are just, I don't know, beautiful creatures. We are just beautiful creatures. And so my wish for you in this short DIVO-Ted Talk is an evergreen experience of enlightenment, an evergreen experience of growth, and an evergreen experience of progress and progressive tendency towards expansion. And you get that from a consistent daily practice that is part of your identity, not because it virtue signals to somebody else, but because it does you well and it brings into your life the things that you need that will help you grow. And again, the practice is evergreen, but what shows up on that day due to variance of qualities, to changing of the seasons, to changing of the celestial bodies will impact it. But it itself is still there. It itself is evergreen, and it is ever relevant to you. And it may not be for everybody. And that's okay. But so long as you recognize its value and your decision to pursue it as an identity piece rather than something you just have to do because of force, because of choice, because of somebody else, but it is just you at the core of who you are, I hope you find that. I hope that blessing is upon you. I'm still working on that. I have tried so many things and I like it. And sometimes I get into a groove and sometimes I get out. And I think part of it is I'm still in a process of moving things out that need to be moved out so that there's space for the right things to find their way in and me to realize what they are as far as my daily practice. I can say that I do feel connected to the universe, to the greater world and beings for the most part, most of the time. But I do notice that some of those times that I'm suffering are the times that I'm not as deliberate about my practice and as deliberate about who I am. So my friends, be well, be free, and I will see you on the next episode.